This guide explains how to manage deployment settings in HyLabs, including configuring deployment patterns for reservations. Before managing your deployment settings in HyLabs, ensure the following prerequisites. Begin by logging into the HyLabs admin console using your reservation admin credentials. Once logged in, navigate to HyLabs configurations and select deployment settings. This section is where you define the deployment pattern for reservations, allowing you to configure two main deployment types, on-demand and specific window. For on-demand deployment, the first step is to configure the deployment type as on-demand. This setting ensures that the VMs are deployed before the reservation start time based on the parameters you define. You will be able to choose whether to keep VM powered on or off after deployment. Additionally, you can set the preparation time, which is the time that VMs will be powered on before the reservation begins. For example, if you set the preparation time to 5 minutes, the VMs will start 5 minutes before the reservation starts. The maximum allowed preparation time is 180 minutes. Another important setting is the deployment time, which is the amount of time in minutes that HyLabs will begin deploying the VMs before the reservation start time. If you set the deployment time to 60 minutes, HyLabs will start the deployment process 60 minutes prior to the reservation. For reservations that involve multiple units or a higher number of VMs to be deployed, you should set this time appropriately to allow enough time for the cloning and sysprep process. The maximum deployment time allowed is 540 minutes. Lastly, you can configure the preparation fail retry count, which determines how many times the system will attempt to redeploy a failed reservation. For example, setting it to 3 means HyLabs will attempt to deploy the reservation up to 3 times if the initial attempt fails. If you choose specific window deployment, this allows you to schedule deployments within a specific time slot. You will need to set the deployment type as specific window and configure the parameters based on your scheduling needs. The Keep VM option allows you to decide if the VMs should remain powered on or off after deployment. For the preparation time, similar to on-demand deployment, this is the time in minutes before the reservation start time when VMs will be powered on. The maximum allowed preparation time is 180 minutes. For self-study preparation time, self-study reservations should also be configured with sufficient time for cloning, sysprep, and power operations, and the maximum allowed is again 180 minutes. The deployment start time defines when the VM deployment will begin, and the deployment end time specifies when the deployment will stop. All deployment tasks that have started will be completed by this end time. In addition, you can configure the next deployment start time and next deployment end time to control when the next set of deployments will occur. You can also select specific days for when the deployments should take place, ensuring they happen only on the specified days of the week. The number of concurrent deployments setting determines how many parallel cloning tasks HyLabs should execute at once. This should be configured according to the available resources on your system. Similar to on-demand deployment, the preparation fail retry count defines how many times the system will attempt to redeploy a failed reservation in case of an issue. There are a few important things to note when configuring specific window deployments. Self-study reservations will always follow the self-study preparation time and will not adhere to the specific window configuration. Additionally, volatile core self-study reservations will be deployed based on their preparation time rather than the specific window settings. It is also important to understand that there is no priority for deployments. HyLabs will randomly pick and deploy VMs from the scheduled reservations. If a reservation is not deployed within its scheduled time window, it will be deployed in the next available time window, provided no other reservations are scheduled at that time. Furthermore, if a deployment is scheduled before the next deployment cycle, it will be deployed according to its preparation time rather than the specific time window. By following these steps, you will be able to configure the deployment settings in HyLabs efficiently, ensuring that reservations are deployed in a timely and organized manner according to your system's needs. By following this guide, you have successfully managed and configured your deployment settings in HyLabs. These settings ensure that your reservations are deployed at the appropriate times, optimizing the use of available resources and providing the necessary VM preparations. If you encounter any issues or need further assistance, please refer to the documentation at docs.accops.com or contact the Accops support team.